much pressure does this put on Mike Tomlin?
It puts a lot of pressure, but I don't think it's deserved. I want to reiterate what I said earlier this week. The man has won 23 and 65. The man has won, over 62, 63% of his games. He's never had a losing record. He's been to the playoffs 8 times. He's won the division about 6 times or so, if I remember correctly. The reality is that when you look at the ineptitude in the coaching profession that has sifted through this league like a virus year after year after year, the level of continuity that this man has brought deserves to be recognized. Not to mention the fact that I recall when Bill Cowher was there. Remember, Bill Cowher didn't win a Super Bowl until pretty much his second last year or his last year in Pittsburgh. That means the first 13, 14 years of his career in Pittsburgh, he never won a Super Bowl, went to one Super Bowl and lost to the damn Cowboys of all people. Don't get me started. I'll never forgive Neil O'Donnell for that, never. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is Mike Tomlin, is this a great year for him? No. But the bottom line is he is still proven record-wise to be one of the better coaches that exist in this game today. It's a damn shame we're even having this discussion. But the reason we're having this discussion is because it's legit. You do have people in Pittsburgh calling for his head.
No doubt. And I think what it is I think it's one of these types of deals, right? They look at this roster 1 through 53, Le'Veon notwithstanding, although that's a huge exception, or rather a huge miss that they don't have on their football team. But many people will start to point to things like this. This is what is happening. They will say a better coach would take this roster and they would be steamrolling the NFL, given all of the strength that they have on the offensive line, at the skill positions on the perimeter, at the quarterback position, along the defensive line. Although on the secondary and the linebacker position, that's a little bit debatable when you're talking about inside linebacker and secondary. But people would say a better coach would get more out of this football team. I'm not one of those people who necessarily believes that. I believe Mike Tomlin is a fantastic X and O coach, although there are things they need to improve on and stop being so darn predictable. But I think the thing that always is circling around Mike is, does he run a tight enough ship? That's what people are always point to. Is he too much of a player's coach? Is he too close to the players? Is he too much one of them? Although people inside the organization that I know believe he is a fantastic leader. Fantastic. But he's one of those guys, quite honestly, he's polarizing. Whether you think it's deserved or not, he is. And that's where I think this stuff starts to build and it starts to gather, kind of a life of its own. I think Pittsburgh's management is smart enough to really be more objective about it than maybe other people are. Because there is a love-hate. Hey, just go on social media and Google Mike Tomlin's name or search Mike Tomlin's name. There are people who hate this guy.
My only issue before I go to Max is this. There's an absence of consistency.
Yeah.
If it were Bill Cowher doing the same thing, you wouldn't be saying this. That's my issue with the folks in Pittsburgh.
Look,
that's it.
Look, I have a message to anyone who thinks that Mike Tomlin should be on the hot seat or should be facing extra pressure right now. Are you insane? If, however he gets there, with whatever rosters, do you understand he has the highest winning percentage? The Pittsburgh Steelers had 3 head coaches since the 60s. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Who has the highest winning percentage?
65%. Mike Tomlin, yeah.
Has he won a Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yes. I'm not claiming that inoculates him, that indemnifies him from criticism forever and ever. I understand that. He's 7-5-1 this year. People are acting, what is he going to finish the season 4-12? Have people lost their minds? You don't want a head coach who throughout the course of his head coaching career, which has all been with your team, has not only won a Super Bowl, not only basically makes playoff runs every single year, but when he doesn't, he goes 8-8 at worst. I don't care if he's a player's coach, not a player's coach. You like the X's and O's, you don't, blah, 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 blah. Mike Tomlin gets the job done. Have people lost their minds?
I think it's just been a season of pointing fingers ever since the Le'Veon Bell situation, and now Connor went down, so people are looking at someone.
I have no problem with them saying there are things you need to modify, clean up, correct, etc. Because he's not above reproach to that degree. But to be talking about his job security and firing him, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. If you can't deal with 8-8 once every 5 years, you can't deal with an 8-8 team once every 5 years. You're in the playoffs every other year. God bless you. Boy, you got some high standards.